All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Shannon, did you want to start or do you want me to?
Yeah, no, I'm going to introduce you. So thank you everyone for hopping on tonight. This is we're doing monthly region calls with the Susanna Hakes region, and my name is Shannon Lumen. For those of you who don't know me, with my region, and we just wanted to welcome the guests on the call tonight. I know there are a few people listening in as guests. And we have some new consultants too. So how it's going to play out tonight is we're going to, Susanna's going to talk to you a little bit more about Arbonne as a business, the business model. She's going to share her story. And then we're going to do a little bit of team recognition and a few announcements and really wrap up for the night. So, but before I let Susanna take over, I just want to brag on her a little bit because Susanna is such an amazing person. An amazing mother, an amazing wife, an amazing friend. I was fortunate enough to be able to partner with her right out of the gate from the beginning of my business, 4.5 years ago. And I am just so thankful for her leadership and for everything that she brings to our team, but also how much she pours into her team and how much she pours into everyone around her. So I am so excited for you all to hear from her tonight. She has an amazing story. She is one of the hardest workers that I know. So I love listening to her talk, and I love listening to her share her story. And I know you'll get just as much out of what she has to share as I always do when I hear her. So Susanna, you can go ahead and take over, and I'll mute myself as well.
All right. Well, thank you, Shannon. I do love that we get to not only, be friends outside of Arbonne, but our relationship through Arbonne has just become so strong, and our kids are growing up together, and it's a great thing. I can't imagine my life without you and what our relationship through Arbonne has become. So thank you so much. That was very sweet. So I would just like to welcome you guys tonight. I always like to thank people that take the time out of their busy schedules to come listen. This is really convenient because you're either sitting in your PJs, or I see some of you outside. That's because you're in California and it's still light there. Maybe with a glass of wine, or just, being very casual. This is what makes technology so helpful in our businesses. But no matter what, you had to take the time to sit and listen. And we just want to thank you for that, because you are making an exchange. Again, my name is Susanna Hake, and I'm a regional vice president with Arbonne, an independent consultant, and I am very honored to share with you. But what I'm going to share is a little bit about my story and journey with Arbonne, but also really how Arbonne has shaped my life, and I mean drastically shaped it in the last 4 years since Shannon actually asked me to join her business. So I've been doing this lately. When I talk to people about the business, I like to start with this question. So I'm going to ask this question of you tonight, and then I'm going to revisit it at the end. So be thinking about this question while I'm talking tonight. And that question is, if you keep doing what you're doing now in your career or your job or wherever you are in life for the next 3 to 5 years, where are you going to be, and are you okay with that? And I know when I was asked that question, it really scared me. It was not something I really liked to think about, because I didn't know what we were going to be doing a month from then or 6 months from then, let alone 5 years. And so what had happened to Chris and I and our family just a couple years before I started Arbonne was, a big fork in the road and a drastic thing that happened financially. And I really didn't know what we were going to do. So we were both struggling, and we were looking. Not everybody's in that situation, but we were definitely looking for something. So I want to just give a little background. I live in Oregon, Wisconsin. Chris and I will be celebrating our 21st wedding anniversary next month. We have 3 boys. Tyler's 19, Tanner's almost 17, and Traylon is 12. The one I just got to spend, because of Arbonne, getting to take 2 days off and go on an overnight trip with him, which was awesome. In my previous life before Arbonne, I was a kindergarten teacher. I taught that grade all the years that I was a teacher. And I really didn't think I would ever do anything but teaching. When I was 5 years old, I told my mom I was going to be a kindergarten teacher. I was very committed and determined, and that is actually what I did when I graduated from college. And I loved my students. I still have very close relationships with a lot of the students I had throughout the years. I loved my parents. I loved my coworkers. I loved all the things that came along with teaching for the first couple of years. And then I started having my own family, and then started to kind of really look at things a little bit differently. And I started to resent some of the things that I was expected to do because I was such a good teacher, and the path that I was going down just wasn't looking as great as I had thought it would when I first started teaching. I didn't love the lack of pay increases, or, to be honest, getting paid for what I was worth. I never felt that way. And, just the kind of negative atmosphere of other teachers, because nobody was really that happy. So back in 2000, I was actually introduced to this industry of network marketing, and not with Arbonne, a different company. And I really thought it would offer just a side income for us, which I thought would be helpful. At that time, I was working part-time, and I wanted to do that alongside my full-time job. But the year was 2000. If you remember back, that was when the economy was booming and everybody was spending money, and it was just a really great time. And Chris was in real estate, so we were just doing very well. Things were very easy for us. So in 2004, after, building my business, I left teaching. It was a kind of a scary decision because of insurance and the security. But again, Chris was doing very well in real estate, and we really wanted my schedule to be more flexible, be home with the kids, not have to pay for daycare, some of those things. So I left teaching, and in that same year, we had a third baby, and we decided to invest in a real estate development up in the Wisconsin Dells. And that was really something. It was going to be our retirement. We were going to be set. This was such a great idea, and we really closed out basically our college funds and our retirement to invest in this. But this was going to be our retirement. So again, this was in 2004. So what we did is we purchased 24 luxury condos in this development, and that, if you guys remember what was happening in 2004. When the economy really started to take a nosedive. So over the next 2 years, we saw the market take a dive, and the bank came in and basically froze everything at this development. And then over that period of time, from freezing, went into foreclosure, and we lost everything. And most people that were associated with that development had 1 or 2 units. We had 24. So to say that it was devastating is an understatement. I can't even think of a word strong enough to let you know how devastating it was for us. So when I say to somebody, when I'm talking to them about Arbonne, when I say that Arbonne can change someone's life, I'm not joking. It is not like, well, maybe for some people. For anyone that wants to take a hold of this business, it can drastically change your life. I would never have started a business had I really not thought was going to be worth my time and energy. We had no time to mess around. We had to do something pretty extreme. And this was not extreme, but I knew I had to do something that was going to work. So I really want to challenge you to listen with an open heart and know that this business may or may not be a fit for you, but nobody can say that until they learn more. You need to really pay attention and see if it's a fit for you. And if it isn't for you at the end, or you really think about it, you might think of somebody that it is a fit for. So we always ask you to think about that. So I was first introduced to Arbonne by Executive National Vice President Beth Malcook. Some of you know her. She's a great friend of Shannon's and mine. She moved to Oregon, and a mutual friend of ours, actually my backyard neighbor, introduced us because she thought we had a lot in common and our kids would become friends. They were the same grade. So I met her for a few times over coffee and just really enjoyed being with her. I loved listening to her talk about the things that she was able to do with her family, her lifestyle, her passion for her business. But there was no way I was doing Arbonne. I was not interested, but I loved listening to her talk about it. So when basically what was happening was, over a few times of meeting for coffee, I was just very prideful. I was not being really honest with her when she would say, hey, is this something that you would consider doing? I was like, no, we're doing great. And that was not the truth. But I didn't trust her enough yet to really be honest with her with the struggles that we were dealing with. So I went to my first presentation that Shannon had when she was launching her business. And again, I was not going to do the business. I just was going to support her. But what happened was Beth and Shannon talked about well, really Beth, because Shannon was just brand new, talked about so many things that empowered me that night and made me kind of go, all right, maybe I should listen to this, because I'm a smart person and smart people do Arbonne. So I knew that I needed to pay attention. I was intrigued by the products. I learned a lot of things that I had no idea about. Clearly, I was putting animal fat on my body for years, and I had no idea. So that was really important to me to learn about. And then also Beth shared that night about how Arbonne had changed her life by allowing her to quit her full-time job and 2 part-time jobs and bring her husband home from corporate America, which I just couldn't believe, was happening with a business like this. And she did it working about 20 hours a week. At least that's what she had told us. So I thought, well, all right. I left that night really thinking, what if this could work for me? And I started to dream a little bit about, well, what if Chris could just work on paying, filling back our savings account, which we had wiped out, and I was able to pay the mortgage and the cell phone bill and the groceries. And so that started to give me a little bit of hope. Was I nervous about starting a new business? Sure. Did I have hesitations? Absolutely. That would be normal. But when I did my research and Chris and I sat down and talked about it, I knew it was worth it to get out of my comfort zone and make this a go, because I knew that I could do it. So what I want to do now is share a little bit about Arbonne, because even if you've heard of Arbonne or you think you know what it is, you might be surprised to learn some things. So I want to share with you what makes us different. So first of all, Arbonne is a health and wellness company with botanically based products that are formulated in Switzerland but made here in the US. We are a network marketing company. So if you don't know what that is, basically it's just how we distribute and market our products to our consumers. So instead of when you go into a store, you go to Macy's and you look for skincare, there's employees, there's retail space, there's advertisers, celebrity endorsers that those companies pay millions and millions of dollars to. We get rid of all of that. Arbonne manufactures our product. You order it and it goes right to your door via UPS. And then we get compensated for that. So what is brilliant about that, which I'll get into a little bit, but Arbonne cuts out all the middlemen, and all that money that is left over goes to pay for more research and development and then to pay the consultants. And after looking at lots of businesses in the last 20 years, because that's something my husband has always done, I have not seen another compensation plan that even compares to Arbonne's. And I would challenge anybody to go look at that. So if you are looking for an extra stream of income, which most people are, I run into people all the time that are looking for something more. We don't encourage people to start Arbonne and quit their jobs. That's not how this works. It is meant to be a part-time job or gig that you can do alongside your full-time job, but have career income if you choose to. But I know people are, if you're smart, you might be looking at other things. Maybe you're thinking about working at Kohl's or Target with the holiday season coming, or maybe you're looking at another direct sales or a network marketing company. So what I like to share about this is I've been in the business for 16 years, only 4 with Arbonne, but 16 years total. And I do think I have a unique perspective. So I want to share 3 things with you. First is the history. So Arbonne is a 36-year-old company with science and research behind it. And I know a lot of people think, getting in on the ground floor of a company is a great idea. And I would run the other way, to be honest. We have all those years, we've got it down pat, basically. We don't have to keep tweaking things and trying things. We know what works. And a lot of new businesses fail. I think 50% of new businesses fail within the first 3 years. So that's too risky for me. And because we have it down to a science, we're able to focus time and energy on developing new programs and products, and then to expand globally. And this is a really exciting thing for a lot of people when they find this out. So right now, Arbonne is in the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Poland. And then in about 3.5 weeks, I think, they're opening in Taiwan. And we're continuing to grow into other markets as well. But this is your chance to own a global business. And I know a lot of people say, well, that might be great for you, but I don't know anybody in Poland, or I don't know anybody in Taiwan. I want to tell you how simple it is to do this. You pick up the phone, you text a few people, you go on LinkedIn or you go on Facebook, and you start asking. So the other day I called my brother, because he does travel quite a bit, and I said, hey, do you by chance know anyone in Taiwan? And he said, actually, I have a good friend that lives in Taipei. What's up? I was like, seriously? That was easy. Now, is this person going to do Arbonne? Probably not. Do you think he knows people that might? I'm guessing yes. I asked one question. So that's really how easy it can be. You can really branch out into other countries as well as going into other states. You don't have to stay in your home state. So let's see. And also just people that you haven't even met yet, that's who you will ask. People that will join your business tomorrow, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, will know people in other countries. Another question that we hear a lot is Arbonne saturated? And I don't even like to spend a lot of time on this because that is so ridiculous. Arbonne has about a 2% brand awareness in the world, or in the United States, and a 1% brand awareness in the world. There are millions and millions of people that have never tried our products, never heard of our products. So that's kind of a silly one. Okay, so first was history, second was products, and I want to talk about this. Our products are awesome. They are so good. They actually work. This is what we love about them the most. If you have not tried them yet, you need to get your hands on them. What I love a lot about, or most about our products, is that we have such diversity. If you've ever talked to somebody about a business that they might be in, they might have skincare, or they might have nutrition, or they might have cosmetics. We have all of that. We have nutrition, skincare, cosmetics, personal care, hair care. So well over 400 products for infants to 90-year-olds. So when you're meeting with someone about our products and they say, oh, that's okay, I use coconut oil, I don't wash my face, okay, well, how about our nutrition products? You have so many different avenues you can go with people, which is super powerful for me. But also the fact that our products are consumable. Okay, so you use them, you run out, and you need to order more. And so do your clients and your customers. So who do you know that brushes their teeth? Hopefully everyone. Who washes their hair? Who uses mascara? Who eats protein? In our family of 5, we go through about 4 bags of protein a month, several boxes of Fizz Sticks. Those are just 2 of the products that we sell. I go on and I reorder those through my own store, and Arbonne pays me for that. So that's just me and our family. All of my clients do the same thing. They consistently reorder the work I did 4 years ago or 6 months ago. Now they're still reordering. It's just brilliant, brilliant. And when you compare to some other businesses or opportunities, I really don't need any more jewelry, don't need any more purses, don't need any more, bags. If I do, I might need one. That is the difference between our company and so many other companies, is that we do have consumable products that will get you don't have to constantly find new people to shop with you. The other plus is we don't carry inventory. So if you could see my shelf right there, I have quite a few holiday things because that's going to be all my gifts for Christmas. But I have pretty much 1 or 2 of the things that we use all the time. So my kids run out of toothpaste, they come in my office and they grab it. But I don't have, 40 shades of every lipstick that we sell. In fact, I have 1, actually. We don't have to do that. So because we can talk about the products and people can try them at a presentation, they just order them and it gets shipped right to them. That is awesome. Also, our ingredient policy is top-notch. So I just want to list a few things that I think really stand out with our products. We're botanically based, gluten-free, dairy and soy-free, vegan certified, no artificial sweeteners, flavors, colors, no chemical dyes, no parabens, no formaldehyde, no mineral oil or animal byproducts, which is super important, non-GMO, and all based on European standards. There are many other things I could list, but those are kind of the highlights, the things that I like to share with people. We also have a scientific advisory board, which I think, being that we have such quality nutrition, we talk to people about their health. We don't make medical claims, but we do offer some great things for people. We have this advisory board with doctors from all over the country that really make sure we're following our strict standards and have the highest possible quality. And then the third thing I was going to talk about is probably my favorite, and that is that we have a system for success like none other. I really feel like this is what sets us apart. And meet a couple people in our team, you will absolutely agree. So we have this proven system for success that maps out exactly what you need to do to the top of the company. The only way you will fail and not hit the top of the company is if you quit. It might take you longer than somebody else, but every single person can make it to the top of the company. We have no secrets. We mentor and train you and partner with you to help you get your best start. And we always say you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And it's as simple as the more people you help be successful, you will be successful. And I don't know that in a lot of jobs out there, people are stepping over each other and the competition is just so ridiculous. This is not that way. We really do build people up and want you to succeed. All right, and then the last thing I want to talk about before we get to the compensation is kind of the timing. Why is this a good time to get involved with Arbonne? And I do like to talk about this because it's a common hesitation for people to say, oh, I'm so busy. And I don't care if you have 1 kid, no kids, 10 kids. Everybody's busy. You could be a full-time student. You could have 3 jobs. You could have, kids that are in tons of activities. Every single person is busy. But here's the thing. You're either getting closer to your goals or you're getting farther away. That is not going to change. And so if you say, well, I'm going to start Arbonne after the holidays, or I'm going to start Arbonne, after graduation, you're just postponing your dreams. The other thing I love, I like busy people. I want busy people on my team. Busy people get things done. They jump into this business and they thrive because they don't have time to mess around. They're very intentional with what they do in Arbonne, and it's very attractive to busy people. So to talk a little bit about timing and how busy people do well, this is how this works. So we have something called time leveraging, and what is so great about Arbonne is we have something called residual income. How this works is, and this is, I bet you if you asked most national vice presidents, it's their favorite thing about Arbonne, besides the people. So the idea is this: I'm going to work 10 to 20 hours a week. When Shannon came to me, she was working a full-time job and she was doing Arbonne about 10, maybe 15, 20 hours a week. She came in and taught me how to work Arbonne 10 to 20 hours a week. And I've taught Beth Rudy how to work 10 to 20 hours a week. And then Jenny Whitens is working 10 to 20 hours a week. Shannon gets compensated for all of that because she was a catalyst to invite us all to look at this business. But here's the best part. Shannon still works 10 to 20 hours a week. Now, you might ask her during certain times of her business, did she work more than that? Yes, I would say the same thing. But traditionally, if you averaged it over a year, I would say both of us probably work 18 to 20 hours a week. Shannon, would you agree? Yeah. So I know in teaching, I worked 40 hours a week and I got paid for, actually, I probably worked more than that and I got paid what I got paid. Didn't matter if I'd stayed late or if I brought stuff home at night. With Arbonne, the more people I can teach and train to do what I do, my paycheck keeps going up. That is so stinking smart. Okay, so let's see a little bit about the industry that we're in, just so you kind of know why this is such a smart business to get involved in, and why the residual income piece, because we also have the repeat business and the reorders. So if you've not turned on the TV or opened a magazine and noticed that health and wellness and anti-aging are the #1 things that you will see advertised. People want to know what products are out there and what products work. So it's a $3.4 trillion industry and continues to grow. And just a couple of the things that Arbonne, that we sell or we talk to people about. Anti-aging is an $80 billion industry. Protein, energy drinks, and fiber, a $12.3 billion industry. Shampoo and conditioner, $20 billion. Sun care is $2 billion. You could grow a multi-million-dollar business just in shampoo and conditioner. Thank goodness we don't have to do that, but you could. So what I love is that we have all of these different industries or market shares under one umbrella called Arbonne, and it just gives us so much opportunity. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is the compensation. And I know for me, I almost needed to hear this first. So some of you are like, all right, let's get to the money part. That's not what everybody is looking for. But for me, it really was. I needed to know if I was going to do this, what would it, and I was going to work hard, what would it equal? So we have 4 levels of management, but the best part is everybody starts as a consultant. So just because Shannon started before me, or she was a teacher, or someone comes in as a nurse, it doesn't matter. We all start at the same level. It doesn't matter how much money you have in your account, or that you might have 10 degrees. It doesn't matter. You still start as a consultant. So the first level is called district manager, and this really is the level that we celebrate the most. And we are good at this. We are really good at promoting people to district manager. It usually takes about 1 to 2 months, and that's our goal, because we want people to see a pay raise and start making money right away. The average income is between $250 and $1,200 a month. So for me, I knew that if I was making $500 or $600 a month, that was going to help pay maybe down a credit card. And to be honest, in the beginning of my business, that might have meant food on the table, literally, because neither one of us were making income at that point, and it was very scary. So it literally could have meant food on the table. And I know there are people out there that $200 would keep them out of bankruptcy. And this is something that you can do very, very fast. Second level is area manager. And this is where your business can be willable, which is a really great thing for a lot of people. There's comfort in that. I call this level mortgage level. The average income is between $1,200 and $3,600 a month. And for me, this was definitely, I was able to replace my teaching income, even though I wasn't teaching at that point, but I was back to where I was if I was teaching and working way less hours. And most people reach this level in about 5 to 11 months. But we have people that are on right now that did it faster than that. Now 4 to 5, 6 months is kind of the norm. So that can happen really quickly for a lot of people. The third level is regional vice president, and this is most notably known for the Mercedes-Benz level. That is not why most of us started Arbonne. The car is very nice. It's fun to drive, but that is not important to me. I'm sure Shannon would say the same thing. We both kind of grew up in like Chevy and Ford families. So, yeah, that was not something that was super, it's exciting, but it was not something that I definitely needed. So this level takes between 1 and 3 years. And the average income is between $4,000 and $16,000 a month. And this is where my eyes went like, okay, that would definitely make an impact in our family. And not only my family, but the lives of others, because when I realized what that meant, how you become a regional vice president, you can't do that without helping other people. And that was exciting for me. And that has happened where I've been able to help people reach their goals. And it really is motivating. And then the top level is national vice president. And this takes about 3 to 5 years to reach. People do it faster than that. It's about $22,000 a month or $260,000 a year, which is definitely a strong corporate career income replacement. And I remember thinking when I started my business, like, oh, I don't need to be a national vice president. Like, that's way more than I need. To be honest, I was probably scared to death at the thought of being a national vice president, because I knew it probably meant that there was a lot of work and responsibility. But I am so confident now that I will be a national vice president, because I believe in people and my goal is to help them be successful, and I will be a national vice president by default. That is just how this business works. You help enough people, it happens by default. Now you do have to work, but it does happen. And I know that'll be a reality in the next year or so. So I want to revisit back to that question that I asked you in the beginning, and hopefully, maybe you're stirring a little bit in your seat and you're thinking, oh my gosh, where am I going to be in 5 years? And, if you think you're going to be okay doing what you're doing in 5 years, then maybe this is not a fit for you. But if you're not, or you think you want more, think about what if this would work for you? Don't think, oh, I don't think this would work for me. Really think about what this would be like if it worked for you, and just dream a little bit. So I just want to fast forward to today, because I told you a little bit about 4.5 years ago when I was asked that question. I have to let you know that I am beyond thankful that I grabbed a hold of this business when, and I could have said no way, but I am so thankful that I didn't do that. It truly has impacted our family in such a positive way, obviously financially, but so many amazing relationships that I have established I didn't think I needed, and clearly I did. I have such big goals and vision for my business now that would have totally blown my mind when I started. I did not think that big. I am building a team of powerful, successful women and men that want more out of life, want to change their lives and lives of the people around them, and live a life of choice and abundance. And that is what gets me out of bed every single day with a smile on my face. And this, no matter what, I'm never quitting Arbonne, because there are too many people that I want to see have that same kind of success. So I just want to close with something. I'm going to read this to you. This is super powerful. So just bear with me. I'm going to close the meeting with this. So I've just explained to you, Kona, don't do that. Sorry. Okay. I just explained to you Arbonne as a company, who we are, what we do, and what's in it for you. And now the real question is, you should be thinking, why me? Why should I get involved? So I'm going to take you back to high school, and some of you remember it, some of you don't, some of you maybe don't want to remember it. But remember that moment when you were out in the field or in the gym when they were getting ready to throw the hats up in the air. And what did that symbolize? It symbolized the end of one chapter, but the beginning of a new one. And that new chapter was, your aspirations, your dreams. How are you going to change the world? You were going to leave a mark on society, live your own life. But the reality in your 20s was you finished school, you got a job, you got married, you bought a house, maybe you have children, you bought a dog, you have mounting debt. And so your dreams get pushed aside because you have to wake up to an alarm clock every day. You have to pack lunches, drop kids off at school, go to the office and work all day, come home, cook dinner, do laundry. Maybe you have to give your kids a bath. You go to bed, you wake up the next day and do it all over again. So we've just accepted this. Most people just accept it because it's the cards you've been dealt. You no longer dream, or you daydream about someday, but someday never comes. Your hopes die, your dreams die, your aspirations die. But what if it's not too late? You're not too old. You still have a chance. People in your life need you to step up and make a change. Arbonne is a vehicle to reignite your hopes, dreams, aspirations, give you time, financial freedom, get home with your kids, travel the world, buy that dream home, help your parents, give back to your community. And the decision is that some of you don't have the energy, you don't want the change, and you just don't see this for yourself. And that's okay if it's not for you. But some of you are tired of the rat race, tired of not having a voice, feel that you were created for more. So I'm going to give you three scenarios. You might be sitting here thinking, like I did at my first presentation, kind of like, I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. I had goosebumps. I was thinking about all the possibilities. This might be something you say, I really want to be a part of this. Then you need to talk to the person who invited you, and you need to say, what do I need to do to get started? Another scenario might be, this is really great information, but I have some questions. I'm intrigued. I want to know more. Talk to the person who invited you. Get your questions answered so you can make an empowered decision. That's really important, that you have everything you need to know. And then the last scenario would be, this information was so great, but I just don't think this business is for me. That's totally, totally fine. We know this business isn't for everyone, but we really thank you for listening, and think about somebody that you could pay this forward to. I know we all know people that are looking for more. So this could be a gift for them if it's not for you. But Shannon and I want to ask you this. Now that you know, and if you've learned more about Arbonne, there are so many toxic chemicals that are put on so many of our skincare and health and wellness products. Why go back home and continue to use them? talk to the person who invited you about at least trying out some of these amazing, pure, safe, and beneficial products, and get your family on the road to total health from the inside out. So hopefully that that resonated with you. You know, think about which scenario maybe fits you best, and definitely talk to the person who invited you. You guys, Shannon and I know some of the other consultants on the team, this is such a passion of ours. We love talking about our business. We know that it's not for everyone, but we see what is happening with people in Arbonne and how they are changing lives. And so we know we're in the right business at the right time, and it's contagious. So if you feel like this is something that you would love to, jump into, just do it. There is no risk. There is no reason not to grab a hold of it and give it your best shot. It is just such an empowering, great group of people to be with. And, as Shannon and I both talk about each other, we're just two people. There are so many wonderful people in Arbonne. So I thank you for listening. And then Shannon, I think she's going to take it away and do some recognition for our team. This should be pretty quick.
Yes, thank you, Susanna. That was awesome. And I love listening to Susanna because she does have so much experience in the industry. And actually, when I started my business, I was teaching third grade at the time, and she was in and out of the school. She was working in the kindergarten classroom down the hallway from me. And I went and asked her, I said, what is this all about? Should I do this? Like, is it legit? It seems schemy. Like, she said to me, Shannon, if you're going to do this with Beth, our sponsor, because she knows what she's doing. But she did say to me, it is such a smart industry. So I completely respect everything she has to say about this industry and this business model, because she does know so much. She's been doing this for so long. She has seen the trends of the industry for, over almost 2 decades now. And what I love, what she shared too, is that, she said, we're in this in the right time, but I feel like it's been the right time for Arbonne for 36 years. Like, our company has continuously been growing, and there really hasn't been a downtime for Arbonne. So, and there's just so much growth slated. It's just exciting. So, and what I'm going to share now is one of my favorite parts about this business. Every month we have a live in-person meeting in Madison, Wisconsin. Suzanne and I wanted to start doing these virtually too, because we do have teams growing all across the country, and our long distance teams don't always get to come to the actual meeting and be part of this recognition. But I don't know about you all, but my former job as a teacher, I taught third grade for 7 years, and then I was a technology teacher for a year, and I did not get a ton of recognition. When I did really well at my job, I got a lot more work. And so I don't know if you can relate to that or not, but I felt like, Shannon, you were a really good teacher. We're going to give you another hard student. Oh, you can do this. Okay, we're going to give you this. You're going to be on this committee, and you're going to add you to this group. And it was like nonstop, more work, more work. Whereas when Arbonne, we get recognized for doing really a job well done, really, like, to a point where I'm like, okay, I don't need any more jewelry. I'm good. Like, I don't need any more purses. Like, you get showered with gifts, and those things are really nice. And at first I was just overwhelmed by the generosity. But it is my favorite part, because I love holding up our team. I love celebrating our team for how hard they work. And it is just such a cool piece to this business. So we're just going to go through a couple different categories. And this is for the month of September. We have, first of all, I just want to welcome, we have a couple new consultants on our team. So I want to welcome Samantha Burke. She's in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm so excited. Sam, I've had the pleasure of meeting you, so I'm so excited for you to be starting. And then we also have Angie Sanderfoot in Appleton, Wisconsin joining. She's working with Michelle Uniskovas. And Samantha Burke is direct to Jen Crary too. So welcome, ladies. We're excited to have you. We're excited to see you grow your businesses and just keep expanding all over the United States and the world, for that matter. All right, so district managers and qualification. This is to, they're in qual this month to promote and finish hopefully in October, and become a district manager after this month. And Jen Lusick, she's in Peoria, Illinois, is in district qualification. And then Jen Crary is also, and she's in Oregon, Wisconsin. She's in qualification for district. We also celebrate people who have hit their $2,500 building block. That's just strictly on volume sales. And we really teach our teams to hit that building block, because that's the power. When Susanna was talking about time leveraging, $2,500 building block is really the minimum we teach our teams to do. But when you start teaching multiple people to do that, and they start teaching multiple people to do that, that's when you grow a really strong organization. And I will tell you, 2,500 is not, if you're working your business, it's not super hard to do. If you're not working your business, it's probably not that it's not going to be easy to do. But if you're just working your business even somewhat, most people hit that at the level that really with, I don't want to say minimal effort, but it's not a whole ton of effort. So these building blocks this month were Jenny Whitens, Michelle Yaniskovich, Shannon Lumen, Beth Rudy, Nikki Trich, and Susanna Hake. The area manager level, we celebrate the 10,000 volume goal of hitting your area 10,000 plus goals, and that was Susanna Hake, Jenny Whitens, and Shannon Lumen. Sponsoring. So when you bring new people into the business, whether it's a new consultant or a preferred client, we really look at sponsoring numbers because that really is an indicator of growth in our business. And so personal sponsoring this month, Jen Lustig sponsored 8 new 150 PCs. Michelle Yaniskovich had 6. Beth Rudy was at 6. Jenny Whitens 5. Susanna Hake 5. Nikki Trich 5. And Shannon Lumen 5. District manager sponsoring, so that's in your central district. The Lumen district had 12. Beth Rudy's district had 10. Nikki Trich and Susanna Hake each had 5 in their district. Area sponsoring is also your complete area sponsoring as a group or organization. The Lumen area sponsored 21 new, and Susanna Hake's area sponsored 14 new. Another really cool thing about our business model, our pay plan, is with each level of management, you can bonus at every single level. And so the district manager level, which is our first level of management, once you hit that level, you can get an extra $200 in your paycheck every single month just for working your business. And I don't know about you all, but when I heard that, I'm like, I can get an extra $200 cash every single month. And it's there whether, when you start working your business and hit that level. That to me was just so inspiring and exciting to know that I could just work hard and get my family extra cash every month and put that money into a kit or for savings or Christmas gifts or whatever. It was so exciting to know we could do that. And so that district manager level bonus is $200, the area manager level bonus is $400, and the regional vice president level is $600 extra each month. So imagine what your month and your years could look like with that extra cash. And this month, our DM bonusers were Jenny Whitens, Michelle Yaniskovich, Shannon Lumen, Beth Rudy, and Susanna Hake. We also celebrate what's called our Rolling 10. This is for really, we teach our teams to continually have 10 income-producing activities in your calendar across a 30-day span. And if you do that in your business, you will have a very strong organization if you do that consistently. And Beth Rudy had her Rolling 10 this past month. So way to go, Beth. That's awesome. We also have an incentive out right now. Our National Vice President, Beth Malcook, is running an incentive where you can earn this really, really cute white down vest. It's a white Arbonne logo vest. Super, super cute. And that's if you bonus your district 2 out of 3 months as an area manager above, and you sponsor 150 or 5 new 150 PCs. And if you're not an area manager yet, it's sponsoring 5 new 150 PCs and getting to area by December 1st. And those people on track for that vest right now are Jenny Whitens, Shannon Lumen, Michelle Yaniskovich, Susanna Hake, Beth Rudy, and Jen Lustig. I said we're going to have like team white puffy vests. It's going to be so fun. We have to get a picture when we all wear them and get them. And so I know there's going to be so much more recognition happening. I can just feel this explosion with our team. It's exciting what's going on right now. There's a couple announcements I want to make before we wrap up. Tomorrow is a really exciting day in Arbonne because you can officially sign up for our global training conference, which is in Las Vegas in April. You guys, it's on my birthday this year. It's so exciting. So my 34th birthday, we'll all be in Vegas together. It's April 20th weekend. So it's like the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And if you are serious about your business, you really want to be, it's a non-negotiable. It's our global training conference. So all our representation from all countries will be there. It's an amazing conference, some of the best trainings I've ever been a part of. You will get your heart and your head filled to the brim with just love and energy and enthusiasm, and it's something you want to be at. And tomorrow we can officially register for that. And they sent me, Susanna, did you get your cute little bracelets? They sent us these cute little Pure Joy bracelets. That's the theme this year, Pure Joy GTC 2017. So when you register, let us know. We'll give you your bracelet. And it is, the reason they're doing this now, and we're talking about this now, you guys, is because I remember when I started my business, and Beth said, oh, you need to be at this conference in Las Vegas. And I was still teaching, and I was like, A, I don't have the money to do that. B, I can't figure out how to get there because I don't have the time off. But I also knew I could not afford to not go if I truly wanted to grow my business. And they give us plenty of time to save, because if you start putting money aside right now, you can be there and be with us. But there's also going to be, in the next few months, they'll be rolling out some incentives to earn your registration back, earn your hotel fee back. So there's all kinds of things happening where they make it easy for you to get there and affordable to get there. But I'll tell you what, this conference, it's no surprise that when people come back from it, they promote out people, they grow their businesses. It is that powerful. So registration opens tomorrow. And the other thing I want to talk about with GTC is there's this Pure Vibe party that they have every single year. It's for new area managers and above, new promotions and above. It is I always tease my husband, and he's coming with me to Vegas this year, but I always tease him. I'm like, this Pure Vibe party was like more fun than our wedding, because it's so like the reception to our wedding, not the whole wedding day, but they have a live band, and they have this amazing food and dancing, and they just threw this like really grand party for us for promoting. And you have to hit that area manager level or above to attend. And it is so much fun, you guys. So if you're not at area, you want to get there, and you have so much time to do it. You can totally be there with us all in April and be at that party. You will not regret being there, and you will not regret pushing to hit area, because the party is well worth going area for. It's so much fun. The other thing I want you all to put on your radar, and this, I'm talking to the consultants right now on this call. Guess if you don't understand what I'm talking about, feel free to ask your consultant, but there are several different retreats that pop up throughout the year. And Linda Parker is actually starting kind of a new tradition with her retreats. She generally in the past has had area manager VP retreats, but it's gotten so big, which is crazy. When you think about it, 4 years, she had her first area manager VP retreat, and there were 60 people in Pennsylvania. And this past February, when we were all in Oklahoma, but there was like 450 plus, Susanna, or something. It was like over 450 new areas and VPs on her team. So in 4 years, that's how much her team has grown, and it's getting too big. So she is now starting a VP retreat, and that's going to be in July next year. It's the last weekend in July. You have to be an RVP to attend. The reason I'm throwing this out there right now is, you guys, it's October. There are some of you on the call that are consultants, some of you that are district managers, some that are areas. And I know most of you have goals to build your businesses and build them big. That retreat is something you want to be at. You will not be disappointed to be there. And it is an exclusive group that gets to go. And Linda Parker is a powerhouse in this industry and in this business. And she opens up her home, opens up and has these amazing meetings and conferences for us. And it will be spectacular. So if region is on your radar and that's a goal of yours, put this date on your calendar and make it a non-negotiable to be there. And I will tell you, if you're a brand new consultant, you're like, oh my gosh, she's crazy. What is she talking about going region? You can go region and be there with us next July. You can do it. And so put those dates, put them on your vision board, have them as reminders, because if you start now, there's no doubt in my mind you can be a region and be there with us next July. And so that's really all that I have. Unless, Susanna, was there any other announcements I'm forgetting?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay, and we obviously have our live in-person nation meeting, you guys. It's going to continue being at Hotel Red, which is exciting. So make sure to let your guests and your teams know of the location change. And then we'll continue.
Stream in if you don't live in town.
Yes. And yes, stream in for sure if you're not in town. But we'll continue doing these virtual events, and then any other events coming up, we'll let you know on our Facebook page. But Susanna, thank you so much for sharing tonight. Guests that are on, thank you for taking time out of your evening and joining us. I hope that you can't sleep tonight in a good way. If it'll make you feel any better, I have a 12-week-old who's still waking me up 3 times a night, so I won't sleep with you either. But I hope you learned something tonight. I hope you know that regardless, we're glad you're here and you took something away from this. We would love for you to join us but we also just appreciate that you gave time tonight and joined us and listened to Susanna share her amazing story. So that is all we have. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Susanna, and everyone have a great night.
Night, everybody.